Hello and welcome to my channel. If you're new, welcome back if you've been here before. So my name is Michaela Carpenter and I'm a nutrition and life coach, and I specialise in helping people overcome things like restrictive dieting and emotional eating through healing their relationship with food. So on today's video, I wanted to talk to you guys about the important role of self-compassion in your food freedom journey. So in trying to really heal your relationship with food, the importance of coming from a place of compassion towards yourself. So we're going to talk about this a bit more on today's video, so if this is something you're interested in learning more about, make sure you keep on watching. So self-compassion is really about making sure you are treating yourself and taking care of yourself the way you would be treating a really important person that in your life, so a really good friend or something. It's about treating yourself the way you'd want them to be treating themselves, and you'd want to be treating them as well. Really coming at it from a place of kindness and caring rather than where you may be at right now, which may not be so kind or so focused on that kindness and compassionate piece. So I'm just going to share with you guys a few of the really powerful reasons that self-compassion and why it is so important in being able to heal your relationship with food. So the first thing that self-compassion really helps do is reduce the self-criticism. So instead of really focusing on what you're doing wrong, you really can focus on the things that are really helping you and creating a really healthier relationship with food. And if you find yourself maybe doing something you didn't want to do, you're able to be more compassionate towards yourself and use it as a learning opportunity rather than a way of putting yourself down or continuing patterns of eating or treating yourself that you don't want to be doing anymore. So it's really a different shift in getting away from that self-criticism. Self-compassion really also helps in overcoming emotional eating. So to be able to overcome emotional eating, it's important to come from a really compassionate place and a kind place where we are willing to uncover the underlying issues and really start addressing those with a kindness to it. Because if we come into it really just focusing on fixing the things and beating ourselves up if we find that things aren't going the way we want to, we'll find it a really difficult thing to do. So it's really important to come in from a compassionate place, and even coming from this compassionate place really allows us to want to address those underlying things and really get curious about what is going on and why we have been stuck in the emotional eating. So this is another really powerful and important part of what self-compassion can really help you in doing when it comes to your relationship with food. So another really awesome thing that self-compassion can really help you do is to be able to eat more mindfully. So the reason that it's helpful in this is because coming from a place of compassion, you are more willing to do things like that, to really give yourself that space and be a bit more mindful about the food that you're eating, the meals that you're eating. So that is another really awesome thing that showing more compassion towards yourself and having a more compassionate lens can really help you in doing. So another really awesome thing that self-compassion can really help you do is building resilience. So when it comes to unlearning a unhealthy relationship with food and creating a new healthy relationship with food, something that can come up and does come up is we do fall back into old habits, and that is part of the journey. So it's really important to make sure that we are coming from that place of compassion where we are able to really see that these things are going to happen and it is a learning process. It's these things that come up are learning opportunities. We can either be dwelling on them and really letting them pull us back, or we can use them as the opportunity to learn and grow from them and further create that healthy relationship with food that we really want. And it's really important to have compassion in that and not beat ourselves up over things that happen, like falling back into old habits. So that is four of the really, really important things and powerful reasons that self-compassion are really important in being able to find food freedom and create that relationship with food that we really want. So now I just wanted to share a few practical tips around how to start really practicing self-compassion. So the first one I wanted to say is to speak to ourselves the way we would want to speak to a friend. So oftentimes you may notice that you maybe don't talk so kindly of yourself. In those moments, I want you to really just stop and really ask yourself, would I say that to my friend? Would I talk like that to my friend? Or am I being unkind to myself? How could I be more compassionate in those moments and really show myself that compassion and not being not be being unkind to myself, because that obviously isn't helpful in really creating the relationship with food that we want and having that relationship with ourselves that we want as well. So that is one practical tip that I really recommend, is really just asking yourself and starting to speak to yourself as though you were speaking to a friend. Another practical tip is to start trying to practice forgiveness when you do something that doesn't align with your goals. So rather than just going to beat yourself up over it, it's kind of similar to the first tip, really practicing that self-compassion piece and how you can practice forgiveness in those situations and use them as learning opportunities rather than beating yourself up over those. Another thing is to start practicing things that are going to really focus on nourishing your bodies and be taking care of your body. So really focusing on that self-care piece. So how can you add in some more nutritious foods or focus on nourishing your bodies a bit more? And from there, really start building on those things. This is a really good practical tip that you can start doing as well, which obviously is really helpful in self-compassion because we're focusing on taking care of ourselves. Also, another thing you can do is to get support and being able to show more compassion towards yourself, whether that's a friend, a therapist, a coach, whatever it is, just really confiding in someone and having someone help you and fostering more self-compassion towards yourself and really unlearning those less helpful responses towards yourself. So that is all I wanted to share with you guys today, and self-compassion overall is such an important part of the journey. So I really hope you found this helpful. If you have any questions, make sure you leave them below like always, and I post videos every week, so if you found this really good, really helpful, make sure to subscribe, and I will see you next week.